Hello and welcome to Babbles Yarns podcast. My name is Grace and you're joining me here today on a beautiful blue sky sunny day. It is coming into the afternoon, so the light is kind of shining straight in my eyes, but this is the time we have, so this is the time we're going to use. You're welcome to watch this little podcast. It's going to be a little crafty podcast about what I've been up to in the last maybe 2 weeks, I think it's been. Just a little discussion about what's been going on in my life and what I've been making and how I have been preparing for a baby that I'm going to have in April. So we are in not full nesting mode yet because I haven't got into the attic because I can't physically get into the attic. So we're getting there though. We're getting there. I had a dream the night before last that I gave birth and I woke up in sweat and I was like, I don't have anything. I still have like 10-15 weeks. So it's fine, but like at the same time, it's not fine. And I'm like, oh God. So we'll start off first with what I've been knitting, both just to like in between and meetings and for different appointments and things like that. And then we'll move on to what I have cast on in the last 2 weeks. And then also I am going to share with you some of the preserves that I've been making. I did a big inventory of all the food in the house, and we'll speak a little bit about that and my low budget year, my low spend year, which I'm planning to have. Also, I keep on looking down because I hurt my finger when I was food prepping yesterday and it's very sore. Just a bit ill, a little cut here, very sore. So if I keep on at it, I'm sorry about that. So that's what I'm going to be chatting about. I'm also going to be talking about a little project that I made and a little bit of DIY kind of mending that I did. So we'll start off with what I've been knitting. So first off, let's start with my Nettle Drift, which I'm still working on. Slowly but slowly, but it's coming along. So this is just in the really boring stage, round and round and round and round and round. And the last time I talked to you, it was about here. So I've knit about 1.5 inches, not too shabby. There's over 400 stitches per row, so it's quite big, kind of like a boxy. It's feeling like a boxy at this point, which is fine. But it's just going to go slowly now, forever and ever and ever. But it's just such an easy, mindless project when I'm out meeting people or when I'm waiting for things or maybe even for labor. Like it's going to be really easy I just love the way the light shines through those little raindrops. So I've spoken about it in the last 2 episodes. If you want to get more detail on this, the yarn is actually it was actually blank yarn that I got from Apple Oak Fiberworks. And then I dyed it myself. This is one of the first things I ever dyed. It's a really light green, really gentle, soft green, kind of almost a grey. And the pattern is the Drift pattern by Kristen Finlay, and it's heavily modified by myself just for the increases and the numbers. So if you want to have a look at how I did that, you can pop back to the previous videos. The last 2, I think, cover how I did it, and it is in my cottage number 9 bag, which is heavily used and loved. Terry is the designer, and is that a cat? Yes, that's Mr. Beans. Mr. Beans, do you want to come and say hello? He may consider it. He has to make his way slowly. I'm wearing my daughter's little hair things because she doesn't like anything in her hair, so I'm like, mine then, girl. So that's just a really quick update on my simple project, which I always have to have a simple project going on. I don't know about you, but if there's anything complicated, I'm like, I'll get to a hard bit and then I'll be like, oh. Do you want to come over and say hi? You do? Can I pick you up? There's Mr. Beans. He's so beautiful. Say hi to Shirley. Shirley demanded attention. Not demanded. What's that about? What's that about? Ooh. The tail is going, so I'll have to drop him down now in a second, but I'll just give it a... I'm wearing my guards. Okay. So, he's an old man now. He's a grumpy old man. I think he's like 7 or 8 years old now. So, God, when he first came, he was so tiny. Anyway. So the next project, I can't remember, honestly, if I showed you this or not, but I'm just showing you, I think I did, and I haven't done anything on them since, because I started another project. These are the Meboden, I can't remember, by Skein and they are beautiful. I literally just put the thumb stitches on hold, just there, and I'm just about to knit up the palm. Nothing has changed. I'm knitting these on quite small needles, 3mm needles, because they're for my toddler, my little girl. So that's how you change the gauge on those mittens, because the pattern is kind of set. So you change it by using different yarn and using different needles, which I think is very smart. But again, you have to know your own gauge. But also mittens kind of will generally fit her eventually, right? Although I wondered, are they a bit small? But they might fit the next baby. That's the thing. Knit neutral, and then they might fit other people. Unless they're lost, in which case no one gets to wear them. But anyway. So the next thing I'm very excited about, and I still want to do... Oh, actually, I might do that right now. Pause. So last time, and thank you so much for the commenter who mentioned this pattern, by the way, but I asked for some crochet patterns, and someone said, I don't have your name directly in front of me right now, but you're in the comments on the previous video. Someone said the Hexagon Cardigan. I cast it on with this beautiful yarn from my cottage, or the corner of craft, Hannah. And it is this beautiful, really kind of more blue with some pink, very gentle pink undertones. So it's suitable for boy or girl, really. I don't know what I'm having, you see. So this is going to be for my newborn. And it's a crochet pattern because I knew it would be faster. But I haven't crocheted in a long time, and I don't have as much kit for crochet that I do for knitting. So what I did not have, what I wanted to do was, this is a fingering weight yarn. The pattern is for different things, but I can adjust it, you know, crochet, you can kind of, I don't know, I wasn't going to be, to be honest, I actually can't read crochet patterns. How bad is that? I go by a chart and I kind of make it up, which is probably not very good, but it works for me. And you know what, if it works for you, it works for that means it works, right? So I looked up a pattern, and I'll pop it down below in the notes, but it's a free pattern that I found online for just a hexagon and the general construction of it, of the Hexagon Cardigan. And yeah, so I cast on, and how the Hexagon Cardigan works essentially is you knit a hexagon, which is basically a granny square with 6 sides. And the start off part is the kind of complicated part, but then once you're on like round 4 or 5, you're like, grand, I can carry on with this as long as I live. And you basically make it as big as you need it, and that can be really big or really small. So I kind of just went for this size. I don't even know what size this is. The pattern that I was following had different yarn and said, oh, knit, or, you know, crochet 17 rounds or whatever, 10 rounds, I can't remember the number. And then stop, you know, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna do it till I look at it. So how it works is you crochet 2 of these, and then you fold it. You fold one side in half, and then you match along the top, and then the other half kind of falls in like that. So you end up with this kind of double piece of fabric. And what you end up with is a sleeve and the bottom. This is the side of the pattern. Now, the back needs an extra panel to kind of stretch across the back appropriately. And I don't want something that will completely close in front, because maybe, I don't know, this baby might have, you know, spit up or reflux or something like that. So it's kind of nice to have an open center for newborns, just in case there's much spit up or sick or anything like that. So this is perfect. This is perfect, perfect, perfect. So the center of the hexagon is actually the underarm. So you make 2 of those and you match it up. You add on an extra little bit at the back, and then you can either do a little cuff or you can just leave it as is. And it is so lovely, lovely. The yarn is beautiful to crochet with. Just look at that pattern. It's basically a granny square. So you're, you see, I don't even know the difference between UK and US crochet like terminologies or anything. To me, these are doubles. Like you hook under, sorry, you basically, you yarn over, then hook through, pull back through, pull back once, pull back twice. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to crochet, but I do know how to do it, so that's fine. But I just love this idea. So you basically just make 2 hexagons and they just come out so beautifully. Some people use lots of different patterns, and I've seen lots of different like stripes, and it's lovely, really kind of cottagey feel. But I wanted to use just this one fabric, and it is just that I just wanted to use the whole skein. And I also have a pink and a blue mini skein to go with it. And I think that I will wait until baby comes and then do like a little collar and cuff, you know, just around the front and then the bottom. And I think that'll be really sweet. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's lovely. Hannah, this yarn is so, so, so nice. I think it's BFL and nylon, so it's really strong, sturdy. It's superwash. I can throw it in the washing machine. Amazing. I won't, because I think the color might fade because it's blue and a little bit of magenta, and I don't want that to go. And just, I don't trust blue on anyone, because I have dyed before, and blue is beautiful, but my worst enemy. So I'll be hand washing everything. Well, James probably will, because I'm not going to be washing anything. I'll have a baby to mind and keep alive and feed. So that's what I'm doing. And so I'm crocheting it on, you'll have to forgive, my cat has got up onto the counter. I know, it's gross. What am I going to do about it? Nothing is the answer. I'll clean it down when I'm using it next. So the next thing that I want to talk about, not a different project, this exact project. So I started crocheting that on a tiny little 3mm hook. I had a 4mm hook, and the fabric was coming out too floppy. And I was like, no, not quite. So I was searching, and I searched and searched. I don't have any 3mm hooks. And the ones that I do aren't great. Do I have one? I don't. It's like one of those like flip kind of Swiss Army knives, but for it has like 4 crochet hooks in the one thing. It's like a Swiss Army knife shape, and it worked amazing when I got it first, but I think the little hinges have gotten really loose and everything. It's just not sturdy, so I've just stopped using it. I think I need to give it away or something. Maybe I could just fix it. I don't know. I'll see. But I had this one tiny little hook, and it was a little Cocoa Knits, basically picking up stitches hook. But it was too small and it was starting to get uncomfy. So then I was like, oh, maybe I'll, buy some because I don't have any. And then I remembered, no, Grace, you are on a no-buy year, low-buy year. You've got a lot of expenses coming up. You're on maternity leave now, you're on sick leave. You can't be just spending money willy-nilly on silly things. Use what you have. And what did I have? Only a ton of fimo. Hi, so I have come up with a little bit of a dilemma. I am on a kind of a budget low spend, no spend adventure. And I had started this Hexagon cardigan for my newborn, who is due to arrive in about 3 months. So, but the only 3mm needle or hook I had was this tiny little kind of pickup one from Coco Knits. And it was just in my needle set, and it's just for picking up lost stitches. Now, the thing is that I do not want to spend any extra money, so I'm trying to use what I have. Now, first off, someone recommended a tennis ball, and I was like, well, I don't have one, but I do have my daughter's some foamy ball, so I actually use that, and that actually has been really helpful. But my daughter's cracked on that I'm using it, and she does not like that because apparently all the other balls don't work. It has to be this one. Anyway, but originally I was actually thinking I had this fimo pack from when I had loads of money and loads of time and loads of patience, and I never really used it. So what I'm going to try and do is just do a very simple budget kind of a color situation. So these are all the colors that are in here, and so cute, right? So what's a color that I probably won't use? Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know. This is glow in the dark, actually. That might be quite handy to find a dropped. There we go. That's the solution right there. To find a dropped crochet hook down the back of the couch. I mean, I think that's a genius. I think I'm a genius. Okay. Now this is quite old, I'd say. So I think I probably need to like... Oh, oops. I don't even like how old does fimo? Oh dear, I've made a mess already. Not on the wood, Grace. Come on, crazy kitten. I think I need to just heat it up in my hands a little bit here. Pause. This is probably way too old. Is there a best before date on these? Because this was probably bought back in like 1,000,000 years ago. Oh, it doesn't say. And it has been sealed properly since then. I don't know. Ugh. Oh, look. Can you see that? It's glow in the dark. Knead, shape, and bake fimo in the oven. That's basically all it says. There's an information leaflet. Okay. It just says store it in a cool, dry place, and it's just been in my craft room for like possibly 4 years. I don't know. Okay. Maybe. How do I hold a crochet hook? There it is. Okay. Okay, so so something like that, that is what I need. And then I'll just, which way does it go? This way, okay. Honestly, if it kind of bent in my hand like that, that would be comfy. Let's try it. Let's give it a go. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Looks a bit sad. Let's put that in. So 1:30, and we're going to put it in for 30 minutes. Okay, good luck. Was I supposed to leave in the crochet hook? Oh well. It looks a bit suspect, but it does fit my hand absolutely perfectly. This is how I crochet. So yeah. But I know. Is it still glow in the dark? Let's find out. Woohoo! I thought I'd cooked the glow in the darkness out of it, but no, it's still glow in the dark. It looks very strange now. It looks like a hot chili pepper. Let's call it that instead of anything else that might be coming to mind. So here it is. It looks like the suspicious thing. Boop. Yeah. So I basically put it in my hand and I was like, oh yeah, this is how I crochet. I don't crochet like that. I crochet like this. But it still fits. It's still fine. It's not perfect, but it kind of just hovers over and actually fits quite well. So even if I crochet like this and I hold it under here, that's fine. And if I crochet like a pencil, and I was there going, oh yeah, this is how I crochet. Like I completely forgot how I actually crochet when I was molding the handle. Oops. Ah well. So this is what I've been using and I am in love with it. It is fantastic. It's still glow in the dark. And so if I lose it or anything like that, I can pick it up now. That's not been a problem, but it's white. Now, it's very ugly, I have to say. I should have mixed it in with a few bits, but do you know, I just needed something really quick. So yeah, so I used a whole thing of fimo, which is probably a bit wasteful, but I have tons, as you saw, I have loads. And the thing is that I have been saving things for good for so long that they go off or they are just taking up space at some point. So you just have to use the things you have sometimes. I say that. My entire craft room is such, it's just a busy place in there. It's busy. Yeah, my father-in-law came over from England to stay and we had to put him in the craft room because my daughter's room, we're trying to like keep her in the bed and we were trying to like sleep train her, so we didn't want to haul her out of it and blah, blah. So I had to clean it up and my mother came over and I'd be like, you are not allowed to say a word about my craft room. And she was like, I won't. I'll be very good. I'm a good girl. And I was like, right. And then she only let slip once. So much stuff, Grace. And I was like, Mum, zip. And she was like, oh, sorry. Ground rules, boundaries, you know. What can you do? But anyway, so I basically finished off the first hexagon and I've started on the second. I did a little boo-boo at the start and I missed out an increase, but I think I'm doing well with this one. Sorry, excuse me. I just weighed the pieces. So this is 35 grams out of 100-ish. Hang on, no, she gave me more. The full skein was 50, was about 110. It was about 110 grams. So this was 35 grams. I could have done a couple more rounds on this. This is currently at 22 grams. And then the last bit is at 54 grams. So I've not even hit halfway on this yoke. Now I have been using one of these bad boys, which I bought at a festival up in Northern Ireland that Lighthouse Yarns ran. What was it called? Whitehead is the village that it was in. What was the festival called? Can't think of it. There was a guy next to me, I was vending, and he had loads of these lovely woodworks, like woodwork pieces. It's all, that's a cat right there. I don't know if you can see. It's a cat nod, but anyway, it works fine. So it's basically, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically for yarn. It spins freely. And I caked up the yarn ball And I just, now it's actually, I'll put it this way, pops on there. Now it doesn't spin, like it spins perfectly this way, but then it gets caught underneath. So what I've taken to doing is putting it down on the ground and pulling directly up. And that seems to be a lot easier. Sorry. So that works very well. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I don't even have it in a bag because it's going so quickly. I don't think I need a bag. Oops. Ooh, sorry. Bending over at all is the worst thing in the world right now. So I'm just gonna wind this up again because I've pulled out loads, but it's a lovely project. I'm very much enjoying it and it's speeding along. The great thing about it is I can always make this bigger if I need to. Like I can always just add on bits. Like I can always just, that's the thing about crochet and knitting, but I think crochet you can kind of blend it in a little bit more. That, you know, this lovely little braided edge that you end up with. That's the starting for the next one. Do you know what I mean? It's lovely. It's really easy to add on to. So I'm happy enough that I can make it bigger if I need to, if I have enough yarn. I was just worried about running out of yarn and I should have been weighing it all along. Because I need 2 pieces exactly the same and then 1 piece down the middle. But I don't know necessarily how much that 1 piece down the middle is going to take, you know? So I don't know. I might do a few granny squares and just slot them down the middle and see how we go. Something like that, something easy and simple because my brain isn't able for much complexity, which is fine. So that's been really, really fun. I really want to pick it up now and do it, but which is always a good sign. Sorry, I've just crossed my legs and that apparently means that I need to take a big breath because exertion. I remember when Mina was first pregnant and she got a little bit out of breath on like one of her videos. I messaged her in being like, be very careful now. You know, breathlessness can be a bad sign in pregnancy. You might want to get checked out. I was so annoying. I apologize, Mina. That's very annoying because breathlessness associated with chest pains and leg problems and all that. Yes, sure, but like you're just constantly breathless in pregnancy. That's just normal. Everything's normal. Like, oh, doctor, my eye's hanging out. Totally normal in pregnancy. Oh, doctor, my hands are really itchy. Yeah, we'll take a blood test, but like it's probably normal. Oh, doctor, there's a meteor after landing on my house. Oh, totally normal for pregnancy. Anyway, whatever. So what I have been doing, speaking of itchy hands, actually, my hands are super itchy because I have been going through a massive inventory of everything in the house, food-wise, because I have wanted to, I don't know how I'm going to wing this back around, but I'll try and remind myself. I have been going on a no spend or a low spend year. I'm trying to aim for a low spend year. If I manage like a low spend couple of months, I'll be delighted. If I manage to 6 months, ideal. But basically we don't have the capacity to earn overtime like we used to, because I used to do all the overtime inside in the hospital. So we don't have that anymore. So we don't have the luxury of having an extra $2,000, $3,000 a month. That's basically how much work I was doing. It's a lot of work. So we have to cut down and lower our expenses and try and save money for the unpaid leave portion of my maternity, which will happen from October to December. I spoke a lot more about maternity, what it's like in the first video I did in December, so about 2 videos ago, if you're interested in the maternity policy in Ireland. So there will be a significant loss of income for 3 months, and then I'll be updated again for another maybe 3 months after that, and then I have to go back to work. But yeah, so I'm on basically the budget is strict. The plan is strict. and I have to try and reduce down and try and stick to the budget that I set. Now the budget is pretty, if anyone is interested in a maternity, like what we spend money on as a family of 3, soon to be 4 in Ireland, and the different costs and the different, I always find it so interesting. If you are interested, I have done 1 or 2 videos in the past, but if you are interested, I'm more than happy to go through my budget, to go through our income and expenses and our discretionary spending and things like that, and the bills that we have, and the income that we get from different sources, government, pay, maternity benefits, things like that. I am overjoyed to share that, because I think women especially don't know a lot about it, and I think there's a deliberate don't talk about it attitude as well. But yeah, no, I'm not going to be one of those people that gatekeeps information about financial literacy. I think it's so important, vital even. Anyway, the itchy hands. I saw in my freezer when I was inventorying, I had about 5 kg of chilies that I had bought cheap in a cash and carry, kind of like a Costco, like a wholesale shop in Limerick, and back in the summer. And I was like, I can finally do this. I have time. So the only thing I was missing was vinegar. So I went back into the wholesaler, got my vinegar, and then also found incredible deals on garlic, cheese, and rashers. I found like 48 thick cut rashers, which are bacon, for like €8. It was half price, basically, what you would spend in Tesco or Dunnes. So I got, oh my God, I think I saved like 50 quid on all the stuff that I got. Anyway. So I came home anyway, and then I started prepping, and I did all this yesterday, and man, oh, there was loads of tofu as well for €1 for like 450 grams of tofu, which is normally €450, €4.50. So amazing deal on that as well. So I made a load of freezer meals, with loads of jars of curry that I'd found up in the press. Like I had lovely katsu curry, I had lovely Thai green curry, and massaman curry, and I made up like a sweet and sour tofu as well, and I just chucked it into bags and I froze it, so when baby comes, James can just dump them into a pot and just cook it, and then make some rice, and then there's the meal. And it's got loads of protein in it and loads of veg and all the flavor, and it'll be delicious. So what I always wanted to do, I've been following a couple of homesteady type channels, and I love this one called Simple Living Alaska, and they mentioned this stuff, which is Cowboy Candy. Now I don't have jalapenos, so I used chilies, so it's way hotter than it's supposed to be. But the brine is super sweet. It has loads of sugar. It has turmeric, and you can see the turmeric and everything. It's kind of why it's kind of a bit yellowy. As turmeric, cayenne pepper, vinegar, obviously. If you're going to be brining or pickling anything, it has to be acidic or vinegary. So that's why I need to get vinegar, and that's why everything has vinegar in it. But yeah, there's lots of sugar, and there's lots of garlic in this as well. And I think there's mustard seed as well. Don't know what that does. Honestly, I haven't a clue. So I made a load of this out of the green ones, and then I just made a straight normal pickle out of the red chilies. And these are great as an ingredient into things like if you need some chili, you just toss it. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll toss like a tablespoon or a teaspoon into dishes if you're looking for like a little bit of heat, and you can adjust it as you need to. And because it's a pickle, and I water bath canned it, so that is sealed. So and these are all pasta jars that come in like a kit. So I always keep these, and I just love the size, because we wouldn't be using that much chili. I don't know what I was thinking putting this amount in this, but I just wanted to get it done, I think. I don't know. I hope it's delicious. I'm going to leave it sit and pickle and brine for like a couple of weeks and then open it and see how hot it is. Actually, perfect for labor, inducing labor. So yeah. And then, so there was this incredible deal on peeled garlic cloves, right? 1 kg of peeled garlic cloves, because this is kind of like a restaurant supplier as well, you know, €3. I was like, what? Yes, please. There was only one of them and I grabbed it so fast. And the reason why they're all discounted is because they're all going off. So I had to preserve them. So I put them in a lot of the recipes that called for them. There's garlic in that one and there's garlic in this one too. And there's loads of garlic in the freezer meals that I did as well. But I had so much that I decided, and I had loads of pickle brine left. So I decided to pickle up some garlic in the Cowboy Candy and see what that tastes like. And then also I blended it up with olive oil and I spooned them out onto like a cookie sheet and froze it. So I have these like little pucks of garlic and they're frozen now, and I'm just gonna take them off that cookie sheet, put them into a bag, and it's just like immediate garlic. I don't need to buy garlic for another, well, I do use a lot of garlic, so probably 3 months. But like, you know, because I was buying 3 cloves for 99¢, which is still a very good deal, but you'd have to take it apart and then, oh, the effort, you know. If I'm roasting something, I might consider buying some more cloves because they are nice to like put in a roast, like for flavor and stuff. But I could also just like throw a couple of these in there and roast them. Delicious, I'd say. So yeah, I'm so happy with all the work I've done. I can see it all lined up there at the minute. So yeah, I worked my little bum off yesterday and I had to get James out to help me a couple of times, and he was having a sick day because he wasn't feeling great from the treatment from the day before. And I was like, James, can you help me? And he was like, why did you start this? And I was like, well, they were frozen. The chilies were frozen and I had to defrost them and then use them because I couldn't I could have refrozen them, but that would have been like, I didn't know if they would be then useless, do you know? And they probably wouldn't hold up to canning and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I had been on my feet from 8 a.m. to 5. I did a full work day. So then this morning I was shattered and I just lay in bed until about 11 o'clock and it was glorious. So I had a really slow day, lovely day. I'm gonna just sit and listen to my audiobook. I'm listening to a couple of different birthing books and I'm also listening to Mistborn, Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. But there's a couple of audiobooks and hypnobirthing tracks I want to start listening to. Just to get myself ready and get my body to listen to me, because it doesn't, or I don't listen to it, I think is the problem. But anyway, so that is the chats, basically. That's what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. I don't really intend on doing anything crazy in the next 2 weeks, I don't think. I'm just going to be home, knitting away, resting, trying to not do too much. But then again, I do have to go into the attic and sort out all the clothes, sort out all the baby stuff, clean all the baby stuff. The nesting has started. So yeah, that's happening. That's happening, which is a good sign. Good sign, great sign, but also I need to just chill for a minute. But yeah, do let me know if you'd be interested in a budgeting, kind of, what's the word? A budgeting video, just to see how we're managing on less and on like how we've managed to survive this far. I don't know. Every time I feel like we're on track, something pops up and there goes our savings again. But that's what savings is for. But yeah, do let me know. And I hope your days are good. I hope your days are fine. And do let me know if there's any cool trends that what are you knitting? What's trendy? Tell me what's trendy. Because I found out that the Hexagon Cardi is trendy when someone pointed it out to me. And then I was starting to watch this TL Yarn Crafts. And they are so funny. Oh my gosh. It was her and her mum, I think. Her mum's not normally on it, but I'm sure you all know about her. But oh my God, so much fun. And they caught me up on all the trends. So I was like, this is CPD now. This is continuing professional development for a yarn podcaster. Thank you very much, ladies. So yeah, I would recommend watching them. They're super fun. Or watching herself anyway. I don't think the mum is on there all the time, but the mum is gas. I love her. She's fab. Right, I gotta get moving. Oh, my birth ball popped yesterday because my toddler pushed it against the fire grate. We've got like one of these like protective things, and obviously it was just too hot and it popped. And I was like, ugh. So much for no spend. So I have to buy another one because I can't live without it in the last trimester. Yeah, I love you. Bye.